Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because today's story is one that will stay in your heart long after it ends. And trust me, you will want to stay until the very last second, because what happened on the stage of Pilipinas Got Talent 2025 left the judges speechless, the audience in tears, and even Simon Cowell completely frozen. Nobody expected a simple young man to walk onto that stage carrying a secret connected to one of the most beloved songs in Filipino history. But when the truth was revealed, the entire theater seemed to stop breathing. The bright lights of the PGT stage illuminated thousands of faces in the audience. Families, students, workers, and dreamers filled every seat, waiting to witness another unforgettable performance. The judges sat behind their desk, prepared to evaluate singers, dancers, magicians, and performers from all walks of life. Simon Cowell, known around the world for his sharp honesty and calm expression, looked particularly focused that evening. Backstage stood a young man named Miguel Aguilar, 23 years old, dressed simply in a clean white shirt, dark jeans, and worn black shoes. Unlike many contestants who practiced confidently or chatted excitedly with producers, Miguel stood alone near a corner, holding an old acoustic guitar case. His hands trembled slightly. A production assistant approached him. "Nervous?" Miguel smiled softly. "A little." "A little? You look like you're carrying the weight of the world." In many ways, he was. The assistant wished him luck and walked away. Miguel took a deep breath and looked down at a faded photograph tucked inside his guitar case. It showed an older man smiling beside a young boy. The photo was old, slightly damaged around the edges, but Miguel treasured it more than anything. He whispered, "Tonight is for you." Years earlier, Miguel had grown up in a small town in the Philippines. His mother worked long hours washing clothes and cleaning homes. Life was never easy. Some days they had enough food, and some days they didn't. As a child, Miguel often asked about his father. His mother would smile sadly. "Your father loved music more than anything. Where is he now?" "He's gone, son." The answer never changed. Miguel accepted it, but deep inside he always felt there was more to the story. Music became his escape. Every evening, he listened to old Filipino songs on a battered radio. One song touched him more than any other. Anak. The lyrics spoke of mistakes, love, sacrifice, and forgiveness. Whenever Miguel heard it, he noticed tears in his mother's eyes. "Why do you cry when this song plays?" he once asked. His mother simply hugged him. "You'll understand one day." Years passed. Miguel developed a beautiful singing voice. Though he worked part-time jobs to support his family, he never abandoned music. Then, shortly before his 23rd birthday, everything changed. While helping his mother clean an old storage box, he discovered a stack of letters hidden beneath clothing. The letters were addressed to his mother. The sender's name made his heart stop. Freddy Aguilar. Miguel stared at the envelope. The legendary musician whose song Anak had touched millions around the world. Confused, he opened one letter. Then another. And another. His hands shook. The truth emerged piece by piece. His mother finally sat down and told him everything. Years before, she had shared a brief relationship with a young musician struggling to build his career. Circumstances separated them before Miguel was born. Life moved in different directions. Freddy eventually became a global icon. Miguel grew up far away without ever knowing the full truth. His mother had kept the secret because she feared public attention and wanted Miguel to build his own identity. The revelation shattered and inspired him at the same time. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked. His mother cried. "Because I wanted people to love you for who you are, not because of who your father is." Miguel understood. Yet one question remained. Would anyone ever believe him? He had no desire for fame. No desire for headlines. But there was something he wanted. To honor the music that had shaped his life. Months later, when auditions for Pilipinas Got Talent opened, Miguel made a decision. He would step onto the stage. Not to claim a legacy. Not to seek attention. But to sing from his heart. Back in the present, the stage manager called his name. Miguel Aguilar, you're up. The audience applauded politely as he walked onto the stage. Simon looked at the contestant card. Hello. Hello, sir. You seem nervous. A little. Tell us about yourself. Miguel smiled. I come from a small town. My mom raised me alone. I work during the day and play music whenever I can. The audience applauded warmly. Simon nodded. And what will you sing? Miguel paused. Anak. A ripple moved through the audience. It was a legendary choice. Simon leaned forward slightly. That's a very important song. Yes, sir. Good luck. Miguel walked to center stage. The room became quiet. He opened his guitar case and removed a well-used acoustic guitar. The first notes echoed softly through the theater. Many people instantly recognized the melody. But then Miguel began singing. His voice carried an honesty that could not be taught. It wasn't perfect in a technical sense. It was something deeper. Every lyric sounded lived rather than performed. Every word seemed connected to a real memory. The audience grew silent. Some closed their eyes. Others stared in disbelief. Simon watched carefully. His expression slowly changed. There was something unusual about the performance. Something hauntingly familiar. As Miguel continued, emotion flooded the theater. The song spoke about a parent's sacrifices and a child's journey toward understanding. The words seemed to come directly from Miguel's soul. Halfway through the song, tears appeared in the eyes of audience members. Even one of the judges discreetly wiped away tears. Then came the final chorus. Miguel's voice grew stronger. More powerful. More vulnerable. The theater erupted into applause before the song had even ended. When the final note faded, everyone stood. A thunderous standing ovation filled the room. Simon remained seated for several seconds. Not because he disliked the performance. Because he seemed stunned. The applause continued. Miguel lowered his head. Then he spoke. May I say something? The crowd quieted. Simon nodded. Of course. Miguel took a deep breath. This song has guided my entire life. His voice cracked. Most people don't know this, but there's a reason I chose it tonight. The audience listened carefully. Miguel reached into his pocket and pulled out the old photograph. My mother raised me alone. For years, I didn't know the full story of who I was. The room became silent. A few months ago, I discovered that the man in this photograph was my father. Simon stared intensely. Miguel continued. My father was Freddy Aguilar. For a moment, nobody reacted. The statement seemed impossible. Then gasps exploded across the theater. People looked at one another in shock. Some covered their mouths. The judges exchanged stunned glances. Simon's face completely froze. The audience could hardly believe what they had heard. Miguel held back tears. I never came here for attention. I never came here to use a famous name. In fact, most people in my life didn't even know this story. His voice trembled. I came because I wanted to honor the song that helped raise me when my father couldn't. Many audience members openly cried. Simon remained silent. For perhaps the first time in the entire season, he appeared unable to find words. Finally, he spoke softly. That's extraordinary. The theater remained quiet. Simon continued. But do you know what impresses me most? Miguel looked up. You didn't walk out here and announce it immediately. Miguel shook his head. No, sir. You let the performance speak first. The audience applauded. Simon nodded slowly. And that's why this moment matters. The other judges agreed. One judge leaned forward. Your voice carries pain, gratitude, and love at the same time. That's incredibly rare. Another judge added. Tonight wasn't about a famous surname. Tonight was about a son singing to the world. The audience erupted again. Miguel fought back tears. Then a large screen behind the stage lit up. The producers revealed a surprise. A recorded message appeared. The audience gasped. The video showed a respected music historian discussing Freddy Aguilar's influence on generations of Filipinos and how Anak became one of the most beloved songs ever written. As the tribute ended, the crowd stood once more. Miguel covered his face. The emotional weight of the evening overwhelmed him. Simon finally smiled. You came here carrying a secret. Miguel nodded. Yes, sir. Well, now you're carrying something else. What is that? A future. The audience exploded with applause. Then came the voting. 3 judges voted yes immediately. Simon paused dramatically. The crowd waited. Miguel's heart pounded. Simon smiled. This is one of the easiest yes I've ever given. The theater erupted. For yes. Miguel advanced. But the story didn't end there. After the episode aired, millions of viewers shared clips online. People weren't talking only about the revelation. They were talking about the humility. The courage. The love between a mother and son. People from different countries connected with the story because it reminded them of their own families. Some viewers called their parents after years of silence. Others thanked the people who had sacrificed for them. Teachers showed the performance to students. Families watched it together. And everywhere, one message kept appearing. Never forget the people who helped you become who you are. Months later, Miguel continued his journey on the show.